Hey everybody, good evening to you. It is straight up 9:30 p.m. Things are progressing through into our area enough that I want to jump on and start telling you what is happening in our area. And then we'll talk a little bit about what this storm has done in the last hour or so, kind of help us figure out what is remaining for the night ahead. So on the screen right now, you have live radar and you have our warnings. So I want to go ahead and start off with what is positive, right? What I am seeing that I have seen for about the last 40 minutes as I have sat here watching this storm come into our territory. These are all red boxes. In fact, if I back out regionally, I don't see any purple boxes right now. So that means no tornado warnings are active right now. So if you guys saw the mesoscale discussion that I just posted prior to jumping online here, you guys will see that we still are talking about the threat for those spin up tornadoes. But as things have congealed into this linear structure that we've been talking about for the last couple days, we're talking about the potential for damaging straight line winds. So the other thing that I'm starting to see happen too, if you guys can see these little numbers over here in Douglas County, so we're talking about between like Topeka and Lawrence, we had some 60 mile per hour wind gusts. We had one reported 80 mile per hour wind gusts, right? But 60, there's a 70 over here to the west side of Shawnee in Kansas City. But I'm basically seeing a lot of 60 mile per hour wind gusts at this point. So it's just a little bit of a downward trend in these potentially damaging winds. But we're still going to say that we have the potential for between 60 and 80 mile per hour damaging wind gusts. So I'm going to go through the warnings that we have out right now, talk about where the storm is, and as these you guys can see are starting to move into our area. This up here is the chat box, so feel free to post your questions that you want to know, any questions or comments that you have, and I'll try to, I can see those, so I'll get to them. You're welcome, Kim. Thanks for jumping on here tonight. So here's where we are, I think, most immediately in our area. We do have a severe thunderstorm warning now for Paola and Osawatomie. This is going to go ahead and pick up Drexel. We talk sometimes about Drexel, Kansas. There really is no such place, but there are some little residences over here on the Kansas side of Drexel territory. So over here is Drexel Corner at 69 Highway and 359th Street. You guys are all severe thunderstorm warned clear up to Lewisburg, Kansas. So this is picking up all of the 69 corridor here. So let's talk about this warning because this is really pretty typical for the entire area right now. We're talking about some potentially 70 mile per hour wind gusts, some 3/4 inch hail. This is going to go until 1 a.m. for Paola, Spring Hill, Osawatomie, Lewisburg, Drexel, Fontana. Expecting considerable tree damage likely to mobile homes, roofs, and outbuildings. We have seen some damage reports again over in that Douglas County area. So we're going to look for predominantly 70 mile per hour wind gusts. Do see that gust front showing up huge right now. I'm not even on velocity, but look at this. Looks like it's just gusted strong through Paola. So if I have anybody on here from Paola, you guys can comment over on the YouTube channel as well, and those comments will show up. So wherever you're watching from tonight, but looking to see that gust front. Look at this, just making its way through Paola here. Going to hit Lewisburg just in the next few minutes. So it's out in the Somerset neighborhood right now, just passed through Wagstaff, on its way over to Wea, where the winds are going to pick up sharply. So that is where the gust front out ahead of this line of strong thunderstorms is right now. So just about to hit you folks in Paola, should be now picking up some heavy rainfall right up here in the Hillsdale Recreation area. So again, this entire area, severe thunderstorm warned for the next 56 minutes. That's going to take you up through about 10:30 p.m. So as we go on up, this line has been impacting Overland Park, Olathe, and Gardner for about the last 30 minutes. We still have plenty of warm, moist air. I was just outside checking on the animals before I jumped online. You guys can feel it. It is warm and humid. Still plenty of energy available for this storm to work with. So let's move over here a little bit to the east. We now have a severe thunderstorm warning as well for this line. You guys can see that it's just about to impact Cass County. So we're talking about Belton, Raymore, Greenwood, Lee Summit, Grandview, Pleasant Hill. This is going to go all the way out to Lone Jack and Strasburg. They're along 50 Highway. This one's going to go way up north to Excelsior Springs and Lawson Beach. You can see how this line is starting to lean off to the northeast. So huge severe thunderstorm warning for this entire area. This is really good to see, honestly, that I'm not seeing anybody pay too much attention. I'm going to switch over here to a different radar product for just 1 second and point out the good news that I'm seeing is that up and down this line, not really seeing any spin ups. Using storm relative velocity, which is subtracting off the forward motion of the storm and just looking at the storm winds themselves to see if we see it's a great place for us to look together to see if any spin ups are getting started. Not seeing anything suspicious there for that right now as these storms come into this neighborhood. So I kind of like to see that. That's just kind of a personal opinion. I don't know how everybody feels, but when you see these great big broad severe thunderstorm warnings here, makes me lean toward we're not talking so much about that tornadic threat anymore. It can still happen, obviously, in a line. We look for these little notches as we go back to the southwest, but not seeing anything like that in this neighborhood either right now. We'll go ahead and continue to kind of check that here. So Rich Hill is already at the station working on the first pot of coffee, and I was talking to those guys a little bit ago and trying to predict what time things would show up for them, and I think it's going to be early. This is coming through about an hour and a half earlier than even what I was saying last night and this morning. So, there's a plus and a minus with that. The plus is, hey, we may not be up as late tonight. The minus is that which I just said, right? There's still plenty of available energy out there for these storms to deal with. Honestly, do kind of like what I'm seeing here in these gust fronts. Looking for these storms to kind of start to gust out will be a good sign of some weakening, and we can start to look for a little bit less out there in the neighborhood of rotation. So they've gone ahead and warned this well ahead of the storms up here towards Richmond, Lexington. If you guys know anybody up in that neighborhood as well, you guys can expect this is all going to be because of the wind. Right, so this has a tornado possible tag on it, which I expect these all probably do, right, because of the probability still of those spin ups. So even as we get down here into Cass County, we're still going to be talking about some possible spin ups. We're going to keep watching for those. I will keep watching for those too. Definitely not out of the question, right? So don't be going to bed on me yet. It's a little too early. It's only 9:30, guys. I thought we'd be doing this at midnight, 1 a.m. And we're not. It's only 9:30. So no big complaints there. All right, let's go down here towards the Miami County neighborhood, Paola, Osawatomie. So this is just about to impact the 169 highway corridor. Like I said just a few minutes ago, here comes a new scan right now, seeing a heavy thunderstorm over Hillsdale Recreation Area, all the way from 68 highway corridor up here towards Hillsdale. You guys have a significant thunderstorm now, and I bet you guys can all tell me about those potential 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. So I would be really interested in, if anybody's watching, you guys can comment for me. If you're in Miami County right now, you guys could give me a great indication of what you're seeing. Did you feel this gust front come through? Do you think you're having 40, 50-mile-per-hour wind gusts? That's going to kind of help us see what happens. Look at this big gust front. What happens when this starts to swing off to the southeast, which is where this is headed next, right? So heads up to Lake Annette, Harrisonville, Archie, Garden City, down towards Adrian along the 18 highway corridor. Nothing warned there yet, but you can see this storm quickly gusting your direction. So let's go back out and take a big broad view of this whole storm system right now. And I'll put this in motion while I take a drink of coffee. You guys can see, look at that gust front moving across. You will know when this storm gets into your neighborhood. So welcome on, everybody. Thanks for joining the stream. You can come and go as you need to tonight because, geez, let me tell you, this storm impacts everybody differently. This is a big, widespread storm, so we're going to be talking about severe storms in one area, and another area is going to be all done. So all of this information brought to you by me and my crew at Mullinax Funeral Home. We cover Butler and Drexel and surrounding areas. This is public service that I get on here and provide this information to you. Hope it's helpful for you. Hope it's helpful for your families. Try to get on here enough times that you guys can send out text messages and make phone calls to people that I talk about here on the live stream, brought to you by Mullinax Funeral Home. So appreciate everybody jumping on here and being a part of the live stream tonight. Post up your questions, your comments. Especially like to know where you are watching from this evening. If you guys want to drop me a comment, I'd really appreciate that. Not everybody's the commenting variety. I understand that. So we're working on Paola right now. I think that's our hot spot for the next storm activity that's really in our area. Paola and Osawatomie. You guys should be experiencing some strong wind gusts right now. Heavy downpours. We'll talk about hail in a minute. I've not seen significant hail reports. So I keep talking about wind and downpour, and I just haven't really paid attention too much to hail yet. So we're going to do that here in a few minutes. Every time I see a little notch, I like to check that out, see if we have any particular spin ups that I can start talking about, maybe even catch them before they get worn. It's always nice when we can start to watch those areas. Not really seeing anything there that I really want to bring out right now. So good stuff. So as I just switch back and forth on some of these different radar products, I will bring them to your attention if I think we need to. So, all right, here is State Line running up and down here. So we are talking about storms just now encompassing that 69 corridor over there on the Kansas side around Stanley and Aubrey. You guys are severe thunderstorm warned. We're going to go over here towards Belton and Raymore. So once again, if you guys are just jumping on, these are our newest warnings tonight in our area. This is Cass County going up into Jackson County. So we're talking about Belton, Lee Summit, and Grain Valley. Tornado possible tag on these. We watch for those little spin up tornadoes. The good thing about those is if we do see any of those, they are typically short duration, right? We did not see anywhere near our neighborhood tonight. We did not see those discrete supercells forming that can be those long track tornadoes. I think there was something out in Kansas. Was it Blue Rapids? Had a really strong destructive, that may not be right, but this was somewhere in central or towards north central Kansas earlier this afternoon, had a potentially destructive tornado. I haven't had time to look back and see. There were plenty of tornado warnings, and I think there were 2 on the ground that I saw out in that area earlier. But no tornado warnings in our area right now. Let us hope and pray that that continues. Thanks, Kim. That's the goal. You're very, very welcome. So, not surprisingly, as this starts to move through on account of those winds, let's go ahead and see what is now warned for Belton. And then we're going to go down and pick up with this one. Harrisonville is finally in the game. So, this one starts off at State Line over here at Cleveland, Lake Annette, Freeman, Harrisonville. Going to go south as far as Garden City. Down 7 Highway, a little bit south of Garden City is where this polygon goes. This goes out to Quick City, Missouri, goes up toward Medford, and picks up my friends out in Holden as well. This one's going to go all the way up and cover the 50 Highway corridors. Let's put some towns on that. That's like Columbus and Pittsville up there. You guys are now severe thunderstorm warned as well. So let's see what we're talking about in this severe thunderstorm warning. 60 mile per hour winds. That's awesome because over to the west, we were talking about some 70 and 80 mile per hour wind gusts. So we're going to look at those 60 mile per hour wind gusts and some hail. Maximum estimated radar indicated hail might get up to 3/4 of an inch. And still has a tornado possible tag. Probably going to see that all night tonight, right? Just because of the nature of this storm. So once again, new severe thunderstorm warning is going to pick up for the next 1 hour. So that's going to take you up till about 10:45 p.m. tonight for 60 mile per hour winds and some possible 3/4 inch hail. Let's go ahead and see what we have for hail because I am not seeing any storm spotter reports of hail popping up on my screen. So let's just go ahead and see what that is looking like. Yeah, that would be why. I mean, if there is hail, there's a little bit of hail over here at, where are we? Lackman's. This is south of Lenexa, south of K10. This is like some pea-sized hail over here just to the west of I-35. So over here is Johnson County Community College. Up here is Overland Park Regional Medical Center. So just to give you a neighborhood on that, that's really small hail compared to what was out west and what we could have. So down here by Gardner, there's a little bit of hail. Picking up that I-35 corridor right now. So honestly, I probably won't even talk about that for a little while. So yeah, so as things move over here, we still could get up to that 3/4 inch hail, but we're absolutely not seeing that right now. Like I say, we're just talking about damaging wind gusts. And we keep in mind that along this line of storms, we still watch for those little spin up tornadoes. So I'll keep flipping back over here to this particular radar product, kind of examining the line up and down to see what I see. And I don't really see anything. There's probably some weak rotation. So we get closer to the radar. This is going to be tough to call, but weak rotation is not out of the question. Our wind profiles tonight talked about that. Little spin ups are possible due to the orientation of our shear. So what do we have going on here? Possibly because of this, right? They don't like the look of this. So we do have a new tornado warning right here. It's going to pick up Belton and Raymore. It's because of this radar indicated rotation that's about to cross over 49 highway. And you guys saw me just kind of blitz over that a minute ago. I couldn't decide if that's really what I'm seeing or not. We'll go back to base velocity. Yeah, there is. Okay, there is a little bit of rotation in there. It looks weak to me, but they're going to go ahead and warn that, right? Because that can spin up really fast between scans. Something can come down. We're going to check a couple of other products here just to see. But that's what they're talking about is this area of this little pocket of rotation. And where is it right now? Here is East Cambridge Road. Shoot, this is the area. There's South Mullen Road. Not sure if you guys can see it up there at the top of your screen. This is the area that we were talking about with that tornado, a month ago that went through this neighborhood. So sorry for you guys. I'm seeing some rotation there. No indication that anything is on the ground right now. But here is this tornado warning on account of that rotation. So this is going to pick up Belton and Raymore on out here to J Highway, 58 Highway, Lake Winnebago. You guys are in this as well. Pleasant Hill at the radar site, Gowdy. This goes down to Coleman and Orr. And they're going to warn this one clear on out to Strasburg and Kingsville on account of a little bit of rotation that we saw getting started over here around I-49. So that's probably where we're going to stay for right now. We're focused on this area, Belton, Raymore, towards Pleasant Hill, out towards Kingsville. You guys have radar indicated rotation. And so there's going to be a tornado warning for all of you guys. Let's go ahead and take our tornado precautions. Like I said, good news. The good news with these things, these are not long track tornadoes. Even kind of want to say in the last radar scan, I really didn't see. It seems weak to me, but it is still there. So they're going to call those things out tonight. It's a great call. Just to be aware, listen, 30 minutes is not so bad to go to your safe space if you are in Raymore, although it's just to the south of Raymore proper is where we're seeing this rotation. I think if you're back here in Belton, I don't think you have quite as much to worry about right now. You're on the back end of that. So let's go ahead and give a heads up out here to the east of Raymore. So definitely if you are along 58 Highway, so let's look at south of 58 Highway. This is the area people need to be in the safe spot for just a few minutes, guys. This is going to move over you, and then you're done. But I'm seeing South Madison Road, Memorial Park, West Lucy Webb Road, and it looks like when you get on the side of South Madison Street, there's East Lucy Webb Road. I'm going to go down here to Skyview Estates and South Lincoln Avenue. Understand now that the city of Hamilton has lost power. So again, we're talking about the potential for 60 to 70 mile per hour wind gusts. Absolutely not surprised to see some of that tonight. So Raymore Recreation Park, which is just to the other side of South Madison Street there, Skyview Estates, South Lincoln Avenue. So if these are familiar neighborhoods to you or people that you care about, we have seen some weak rotation getting started as this thunderstorm starts to approach the Raymore neighborhood right here at J Highway. So let's go ahead and get everybody in their safe spots just for a little bit. This is only a 30-minute. We got 26 more minutes left on this tornado warning for you guys here in this area. Let's go ahead and look and see if we're seeing anything else like that up and down the line. So like I said, those little spin ups, absolutely not out of the question. I do see that. It's these little pockets, those little spin ups. And they don't last very long. I mean, they look like they're getting together tight. I know it's moving fast, but you can kind of see it the more you look at it. They get together kind of quick, and then they weaken out, which is great. That's honestly great. So something like that must be happening up here in the Richmond neighborhood. Let's take a look. Yes. So there is some rotation out here just to the south of 10 Highway, south of Excelsior Springs. So that's going to be this area right here. Let's zoom in on that. So we want to talk about Elkhorn and N Highway. Not sure how many folks I have up here in this neighborhood, but we're talking about Richmond, Henrietta, Hardin. You guys now have a tornado warning for radar indicated rotation for the next 39 minutes. That's going to take you up to about 10:30 p.m. that you guys have a tornado warning as well. Just on account of these quick little spin ups, guys. I hope they're not much. Hope they drop right out. They spin up, not uncommon. Got wind shear that'll just whip those up real quick. So we'll go down here to the south just a little bit. We'll check on that rotation up there. So heads up to folks in Harrisonville. You have about 12 minutes or so before this thunderstorm impacts you. You do have a significant gust front out there around Lake and Net right now. So you have just a few minutes if you need to anchor anything down up there in like the Harrisonville neighborhood. I'm looking for confirmation that something's on the ground up there in the Raymore neighborhood. Not seeing that yet. So great sign for you guys there. So again, severe thunderstorm warning down here towards Harrisonville and Garden City. Not too much happening in your neck of the woods yet, but it is about to. So heads up to my friends here in Drexel. Big wind gust there right now. I bet there is out here between 69 Highway at 359th and headed up toward Lisle as well. So south of Drexel and Archie, nothing warned at this time. Things are still pretty far off to your northwest. We're going to have to go a little bit later into the evening before we talk about you folks. So the yellow that you see flashing there is just reminding we are tornado. We have a tornado watch that goes clear out here almost to Columbia that takes us past midnight, I think. So we're going to be watching for these, till 1 a.m. We'll be watching for these spin-ups all night long. So not out of the question there. Let's go back up here and check on the Raymore folks. This is going to get tough as it gets close to the radar. We're not going to see up into the storm. We're just going to see low stuff, and then we're not even going to see that. But if this is to be believed, there is still some weak rotation, and we just kind of don't know as we get closer to the radar. But everybody needs to be in their safe space there along 58 Highway. I would say this is going to be tough to kind of say what this really is. And if you live close to the radar, you've heard this before, but we have ample indication that there is at least some weak rotation there right over 58 and 291. This is just to the south of Lake Winnebago. So all of this area right over the National Weather Service office. For the next 22 minutes, they have put themselves in a tornado warning based on that weak rotation out there. Still radar indicated, not seeing any. We're going to rely on reports. You guys can see things taper off there as we get closer to the radar site. So we'll have to let people tell us what's happening, but nothing popping up telling me that anything is on the ground there. Just some spin ups right along the leading edge of this line. Okay, let me catch up on some comments. How about Hume, Missouri? Let's do that first. We'll do Hume and Pleasanton for Tanner and Jeannie. So we're going to have to go down here to the south and to the west. Here's Pleasanton. All right, so Pleasanton, you're not warned for anything. You are in the tornado watch until 1 a.m. So Pleasanton, you've got about 15 minutes until you have strong wind gusts, possibly up in the 60 mile per hour variety. But I think the National Weather Service is focused up north, so I'm not sure if they're going to warn you. If they do, it's going to be for 50 to 60 mile per hour wind gusts, I'm going to guess, down for your neighborhood. But you're not warned for anything right now. If we go over just a little bit to the east, I should find Hume, and the same thing applies for you guys right now. So I think we're going to be talking about you later because you guys can see the orientation of this storm is off to the northeast. So you guys catch the lagging edge. So it's going to be a little bit for you guys, but you don't have anything going on for you down there right now. Thanks, Chloe. I appreciate that. Try to do wide coverage. Try to focus on the areas where things are going on. Amsterdam. Hi, Pam. Oh, okay. So let's go over here to Amsterdam. No warnings yet, but it can't be long. I'm kind of interested in the whole Amsterdam, Adrian, Butler area right now. I'm going to see what they think of these wind gusts that are starting to work down into your area. You're going to pick up strong damaging winds tonight. All of this area is. Archie, I'm going to include Lacine on out to Mound City. I'm going to go over to Appleton City, Creighton, and Urich. Yeah, all of this area is going to have some potentially strong wind gusts tonight. And is this a new mesoscale discussion talking about the potential for 65 to 80 mile per hour wind gusts and hail, 1 inch to 1 3/4 inch hail tonight for this area? I haven't really seen that. So that's a good thing, but we're all in that mesoscale discussion. I don't think that's new. I think that's the one that was there. I think I just noticed it as I scrolled back across. Here is a good sign. I'm going to go ahead and pick on this because this is a great sign right here. This is a special weather statement. This is over here in Burlington. So at Ottumwa, New Strawn, 58 Highway, 75 Highway. You guys have a special weather statement. That's pretty great. And so that is 1 notch lower. If you guys are on here with me often, you hear me say that. It's 1 notch lower than a severe thunderstorm warning because here it is right here. We're talking about winds less than 60 miles per hour, 55 mile per hour wind gusts. So awesome. I'm going to take that as a sign of possibly some weakening down on the southwestern edge of the storm. So that's pretty great. So as we get over here towards Garnett, past the 169 highway corridor over to 69, there's nothing warned out in that area right now. Nothing is warned south of Archie, south of Creighton, south of Drexel, south of Lacine. So nothing there for you guys yet, but the line just isn't close enough to you yet to see what's going on up there. So let's go back up here to our warned areas. Paola's in the thick of the thunderstorm right now. Be interested to know if you guys are seeing any hail over there. I'm going to go ahead and see what the radar says. Okay, so in Paola, no. But let's go over here towards Aubrey. So this is just north of Wea, Kansas, right there at 69 Highway. I am seeing some significant hail. This might be up to, that's approaching 3/4 inch hail right there at Wea. So that has gathered some gusto right there. So let's go ahead and talk about some significant hail possibly going to hit. So that's Wea is at Metcalf Road. So over from that is going to be Null. This is all south of Kansas City, you guys. Null Mission Road. Here's a new radar scan that says if there's hail, it's about to Jadon. So there is some hail over there for you guys. Let's go out and see what we have for any new warnings here. We're just not going to be able to learn too much right here because of the radar sites, but we'll just go ahead and say, one more time, everybody needs to be in their safe spaces. This purple polygon here is a tornado warning that has been out for a little bit. I can't tell you what that's doing right now. It's not my fault. It's just where the radar is. But back here where I'm drawing that X, there was some rotation wrapping up. So if you are in Strasburg, Kingsville, out towards W Highway there north of Kingsville, I need you guys to hang out with me in your safe spaces for a little bit longer. So that is what we have right now. I'm not sure how many folks I have up in Richmond, so I haven't been talking about you guys, but south of Kansas City over here on the Missouri side, just this one tornado warning and a severe thunderstorm warning that's going to go out Harrisonville, Garden City, and Holden. You guys have 46 minutes left on that. We're talking about 60 mile per hour wind gusts and some 3/4 inch hail. Have seen possibly some 1/2 inch hail in this storm as it sits right now. All right, Jamie wants to know about Drexel. I think Drexel, is it windy over there? I know I have people watching from Drexel. So did you just get a really strong wind gust that knocked through there? That would be the gust front, which is out ahead of these severe thunderstorms. But Drexel itself, how specific can we get? is actually not in a severe thunderstorm warning right now. But I bet you have strong winds. You're going to have really heavy downpours. Over here by Paola, I bet I would see some small hail at least as well. And I do think that is probably headed over here into the Drexel neighborhood. So let's go down towards Nevada. I can tell you nothing is happening down there. It's a little too early to talk about Nevada, Fort Scott, El Dorado Springs. The line is just too far from you guys. Look up to the top left of your screen from there in Nevada. Just hard to say. I'm really hopeful. The data that I saw this morning, of course, it was a lot later. Thought we would be doing this about 3 or 4 in the morning. The data showed that by the time things got down here to your neighborhood, Fort Scott, Eldo, or Osceola, things really started to gust out and they started to fall apart. So maybe that same scenario is playing out early. By the time things get down to you, maybe we just have a bunch of these special weather statements where we're talking about maybe some 50-mile-per-hour wind gusts and below. But it's just too early to know down there, you guys. We'll come back to you. Is Belton going to be clear the rest of the night besides rain? That's a really good question. So it looks to me right now, you have quite a bit of rain left to get through. You're just coming into some heavy downpours. I bet some of that hail that we just saw over Aubrey, you might have some half-inch hail now coming into Belton and Raymore. And you've probably got about another 20 minutes of heavy rain. Look at everything that's to your west, you guys. But yeah, basically, it's not going to be too much longer before I'm going to be doing a lot of this, drawing a line like this. And once these torrential downpours and wind gusts are over you, you're done for the night. You are done. There's a body of, this is going to be cool. Look how cold it is at Topeka. It's already 66. And it is almost 80 on the other side of Kansas City, right? So that's how much cooler this cold front's going to make things. You're going to feel all that. And this is just going to trickle down to some light rain. Once this happens, once this line passes over you, you are done. So Belton, you just got to make it through some torrential downpours, maybe some small hail. Haven't heard anybody tell me what the wind is doing. Watching you from my basement. Hi, Julie. Yes. If you live where I think you live, you should be in your basement. So great. So I guess you can't tell me what the wind is doing up there. Maria's in the hospital on 165th and Overland Park. They have us in the hallways. My new Jeep is in the parking lot. No, praying for no hail. I'm stuck in the ER in the hospital, man. Yeah, thoughts and prayers with you for whatever is keeping you there. Hope things do not get worse. So up towards Overland Park, having you guys, it's looking good up there towards Overland Park. You guys are just about done. You got some torrential downpours up there. Don't know what the wind is doing, but you're getting ready to be finished with things up there in your neighborhood. Ashland, Harrisonville, good question. Let's go down and take a look. So Harrisonville should be picking up what's left of this gust front right now, which isn't quite as sharply defined. Let me go and see what else I think is happening out towards Harrisonville and to the west. Well, the good news is I'm not seeing any spin-up rotation. That can change. We're going to say that all night long. I don't want anybody thinking that because we don't see it right now, that we're not going to see it the rest of the evening. Can't say that at all. I think it's looking better, though. I will say that. But no, in Harrisonville, here's your current radar reflectivity. So if you're in Harrisonville, it is thunderstorming out in Lake Annette, Cleveland, up and down Y Highway, and it's just about to pick up the I-49 corridor there. So we got lots of lightning out north of Cleveland right now. So it's just about to pick up I-49 at Peculiar. So if you're in Harrisonville, it is headed your way. Hang on tight. But right now, it just looks like strong wind gusts and some torrential downpours. So I'm going to check on this warning up here. Still radar indicated. Nobody says anything is on the ground up here in Cass County, Pleasant Hill, and points to the east, you guys. So good sign there. I think it was just on account of that rotation. Look how messy this is getting. I'm hoping that's a good sign. We got a big, strong gust front. So we're still going to watch these little areas, but look how messy this is getting. This is another good sign. We're not going to breathe too big of a sigh of relief. So they have gone on ahead and warned, and let's see why. Lacine, K7, 69 Highway, Drexel. Now you guys have a severe thunderstorm warning that goes almost to Adrian. So it's going to stop just out to the west of Adrian. It's going to pick up Laceyville and FF Highway now for a severe thunderstorm warning. They are talking about here. Let's go ahead and see this, all of us together. 60-mile-per-hour wind gust still possible. And some hail up to or smaller than 3/4 inch hail. Okay, so we're just creeping downward in these severe thunderstorm warnings. These still have the potential to knock some stuff around, cause some power disturbances. 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts absolutely can do that. When we talk about power outages, it's usually on account of winds 60 miles per hour or greater. You guys know it can happen with less than that. But yeah, so severe thunderstorm warning right now is picking up Lacine, Centerville, Amoret, the Maritime Wildlife Area, Amsterdam, 18 Highway, Drexel, almost out to Archie. This one is going to go for the next 39 minutes, so I believe that'll be 10:45. So it's just a few minutes before you guys are going to start to feel this in Amsterdam. I think your gust front right now is at 18 Highway, right, to Burdett, which is out west of Adrian. Thanks, Steve. I appreciate that. Have a lot of friends in Mount City. That happened in Drexel. That was a few minutes ago. Sirens in Raymore, Julie says. Glad to hear that. Wind is crazy. Where's that at, Ashlyn? Maybe I missed your comment from earlier. Wind is crazy where? I'd like to know that. Appreciate you guys letting me know what is happening around the area right now. So, by and large, I mean, we are seeing good things. Let me kind of back out regionally here one more time. I'll go ahead and put the radar in motion. Honestly, just because I want to drink a cup of coffee. You guys can watch. Boom. I mean, look at that gust front. I believe, nobody's talking to me too much about the wind, just Ashlyn, but I believe you're going to know when things come through your neighborhood. That is a strong gust front. So, all right, if you are in Paola, I got lots of friends over in Paola, you are like in the middle right now. You have probably heavy, heavy downpours. Maybe you've had some small hail over there in Paola. You've probably had wind gusts. But you only have a few more minutes. You have lots of heavy downpours left to go through, and then you guys are about done. If you're down here in Osawatomie, 169 Highway, you have a little bit heavier of a thunderstorm. Makes me want to look at hail for you guys down here. Do think if you're in Osawatomie, so between Paola and I don't know, somewhere down here way southwest of Osawatomie, you guys do have some potential hail just off to your west right now. Hey, the good news is I don't even think this is half-inch variety, quarter size, maybe a little bit smaller than that. So, but just know that that is out there. I think that's going to impact Osawatomie and Paola. Let me just go ahead and play the trend here and see what is happening with hail. Yeah, actually, it looks like it's picking up a little bit. So we'll keep an eye on that for you guys over there in that area. I was looking for some weakening there, but pockets of instability because of all this warm, moist air. Anything still can become energized. Got some interesting storm reports here, and I appreciate this. Unfortunately, Kidder, Hamilton, Polo, and Bramer have all lost power in their cities. Damage to trees and buildings in King City. No power there. One report of a tree down on Montgall and Belton. So that's the kind of damage. I'm glad to have those reports. Thank you very much, because that's the kind of damage that we're talking about with these potentially 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, you guys. Definitely enough to knock down some trees and snap some power lines at 60 miles per hour. So I'll be looking for encouraging signs that we get more down into the 50-mile-per-hour variety, but not seeing too much of that yet. So down here to the south, we had a question about Kansas. So now we are severe thunderstorm warned down here, talking about Centerville, Lacine, Amoret, Amsterdam. So you guys are going to pick up the same warning now, 60-mile-per-hour winds and up to some 3/4 inch hail. So this is going to pick up Amoret out to 52, Virginia. You guys are in this as well. Mulberry, Amoret, Virginia, and FF Highway. That is where our newest thunderstorm warning is, I think. And we just kind of follow this line diagonally up to the northeast. as we see this now start to come into the Harrisonville area. So if you need to go Harrisonville north, 49 highway, up towards Peculiar, that area is going to pick up a solid thunderstorm for about the next 20, could be 25 or 30 minutes, because all the way back over to Wea, there's a strong thunderstorm. So look at how packed in it is right now between Grandview, Belton, Raymore. I think the worst of it is just about to pass over you guys. I think you're through the worst of it there in Belton. Heaviest stuff right now is over here at Raymore. There's the Creekmore Golf Club. So it's just about to you guys if you're in that neighborhood. It's passing over the hospital. Strong thunderstorm out there right now. Going to go back over here to our tornado warned area, which we've got to be getting to the end of. Yep, we got 4 minutes left on that. No confirmation that anything was ever on the ground there. There was just a spin up, but the line was a lot tighter. Did you guys see that? That line was a lot tighter when there was a spin up. Look how it's falling apart now. So we're a little bit less concerned about those things, but doesn't mean we won't go back and check. Let's go ahead and do that. Anything I can do to reduce anxiety? Wow, I just see strong wind gusts. Actually, I need to go over to base velocity now. Yeah, good grief. I just see strong wind gusts. I don't really see, there's little teeny pockets of rotation, but nothing to get excited about right now. I don't think. Got to be careful around the radar site. Yeah, I don't see anything that makes me want to talk about rotation right now. So I think that's going to drop off up there in Belton, you guys. I don't know if Julie will come out of the basement or not. She might not come out till like Thursday, but she probably can if she wants to. So that's a good sign. Let's go down here and talk about coming into the Lacine area, because that's a strong thunderstorm down there. Let's check this out for you guys. There's some weak rotation. So it's a little bit tighter of a line down there. We could still see some spin ups down here. So we'll watch this for Lacine, for Drexel, working over towards 18 highway corridor, Amsterdam and Amaret. Not seeing anything there right yet. Just a little bit of really weak, broad rotation. Not surprising for the storm orientation at all. Look at the thunder and lightning you guys are getting up and down the 169 highway corridor over towards Paola, but you guys are getting through this. Starting to get done. Julie is never coming out of the basement. Well, some people are like that. Thank you, everybody. Stay safe tonight. Prescott, isn't Prescott down here to the south? I know where Prescott is. I just can't think. Oh, there's Prescott. Sorry. Yeah, I knew. South of Pleasanton. So you're not warned for anything right now. You're just barely in the tornado watch. You're not warned for anything. I don't think anything is happening there right now. You have a strong wind gust off to your northwest. It's at Mound City right now. So it might weaken out by the time it gets to you down in Prescott. You're not warned for anything there right now. You are going to get a thunderstorm. Promise. But what is due northwest of you right now is really just heavy rain. So you're going to get loud. You're going to get a wind gust. You're going to get lots of thunder and lightning and heavy rain. That much I know. And that might be it. Okay, so Janice 2 minutes ago said nothing was going on in Drexel. Yeah, you're just kind of hanging out in the notch. So, I mean, this is, it's gonna happen in Drexel, but it's not even crossing Drexel Corner yet. But there's a strong thunderstorm just to the north of New Lancaster, right? So, what about the winds over there in Drexel? Any winds? Curious about that. Everybody's lucky if you really don't get those strong wind gusts tonight. Radar is a terrible way to indicate wind gusts. I can just tell you where gust fronts are and things like that in this particular storm orientation. So don't really know. That's where you guys come in handy. Again, I'm looking for spin ups here. Nothing too much getting my attention right now. But we're going to watch that all night tonight. Diana is in Pleasanton, Kansas. So it's gusting towards you. I think you get wind gusts here any minute in Pleasanton. And then you have a gap. And then you get heavy downpours. And you get lightning. And you get thunder. But actually in Pleasanton, we can just get street level. You are not severe warned for anything right now. You might get a special weather statement. Kind of curious what this southwest corner is going to do of this storm, right? All right, so let's do kind of an overall now that look at the tornadic activity with the tight lines still together there, the quasi-linear structure, QLCS, if you want to Google that and read about what QLCS threats are, quasi-linear convective system, is still hanging together up here around Bramer. So these guys still need to talk about. Let's go make sure I have the right radar data. Yeah, I do. Up here, they need to still watch out for that, right? And so if anybody knows anybody up here in Bramer, let's go ahead and see what's happening up here in this neighborhood. Some radar indicated rotation. Again, due to the angle of the radar, that's kind of tough to see. I don't really see it right now. But at one time they did. So there is a tornado warning for some radar indicated rotation up there for the next 30 minutes. We work our way a little bit further south. Yeah, here again along this QLCS, Russellville, Stett, Judd. Names I've never said live before. There is a tornado warning up there for some radar indicated rotation for the next 14 minutes. Kind of bet you that's gone. Yeah, there's some weak rotation still here. Okay, so that's all up there where things are still a little bit tighter into that quasi-linear structure. Coming down here to the south, we just have a little bit less of that structure, so we can still have spin-ups, especially down here. I wonder if this is going to bow out a little bit. That's what I'm actually wondering about now. So I'm wondering about winds coming into Lacine, Lynn Valley, and approaching the 69 highway corridor here. This is starting to kind of, sort of, it's not super tight yet, look like a bowing line segment. We worry about damaging straight line winds in excess of 60 miles per hour when that happens. And you are warned for that right now with the severe thunderstorm warning up to 60 mile per hour winds. So bowing line segments always give us that concern as well. So let's kind of batten down the hatches if you're in Lacine, Lynn Valley, Meridocene, K7, it gets down here towards K9, and maybe Pleasanton. We got a few minutes left to go, but Amoret, Amsterdam, yeah, I do kind of worry about you guys for some strong damaging winds. Significant thunderstorm right now just about to come into Lacine. You're welcome, Diana. Absolutely. Very little wind in Drexel. Awesome. Good to hear from you, Mary. No wind. Awesome. Adrian Butler area. Okay, let's go over and talk about that for you folks. Nothing is warned over there right now, but you guys can see this big green stripe here is the gust front out in front of these storms. So that's going to knock through. You may pick up some strong wind gusts when that happens. If you are in that area, that's your cue. And so I do see that crossing Archie right now. But as far as Archie, Adrian, 49, Passaic, on out 18. No warnings there yet. It's going to be a little bit. We're going to watch for... the front to get right about here before we can see what they're going to go ahead and put out for Adrian Butler. So we have another 10 minutes or so before we can see what kind of a warning might pick up for Adrian Butler area. Say Raymore is good. I can leave the basement. Yes, I was just talking about you, Julie. We were actually wondering when you were going to leave. We were taking a wager if you were going to leave the basement or not. But yeah, you can. Up in your neighborhood right now, I'm actually looking at Pleasant Hill where all that was taking place a minute ago. I mean, this is just a big, broad thunderstorm. It's a big, flat thunderstorm actually now. And that's what it is. I mean, there's lots of lightning. I bet it's noisy. It's going to be noisy on the backside of this, especially. Look over here west of Belton. So we'll go over here towards Aubrey and Olathe. I bet it's plenty noisy over there right now. But yeah, this is actually some good news that I get to give out. So let's go ahead and do this. Gardner, Olathe, Overland Park, west of Belton, Grain Valley, up in this area, all to the northeast of this little pink line that I just drew, which now includes Kansas City proper. Good night. Have a great night. Thanks for being here. You don't have to come back. You guys are done. You can go to bed if you go to bed at 10:20. Okay, so we're talking about this thunderstorm gusting right now into Lacine. Drexel, I think it's going to start pouring actually there right now. Look at how quickly you go from nothing to heavy downpours there in Drexel. That's what we're talking about here. There's this severe thunderstorm warning. Paola, you guys are about through it, but you still have a significant thunderstorm. Heads up right now, we probably need to give to Harrisonville. You guys can probably already hear it, but just off to the northwest, you have a strong thunderstorm getting ready to cross over 291. There's Cass Regional Medical Center just about the middle of your screen. So just to tell you where this thunderstorm is, and there's a lot more behind that. So thunderstorm activity just about to get started in Harrisonville. If you are in Harrisonville, Garden City, Holden, 50 Highway, up towards Lone Jack, Strasburg. You guys have a severe thunderstorm warning. Up to 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts are possible in this, and some 3/4 inch hail. I'm going to go ahead and put hail up kind of regionally here, and we'll take a look at that. Really not seeing hail that I want to talk about in a significant hail damage way at all at this moment. So I think we're talking about heavy, heavy downpours and possibly those damaging wind gusts. Feeling the wind pick up here in Adrian. Finally somebody to let me know that, yeah, that gust front has come through. So wind picking up in Adrian. Is it really bad, Jenny? I mean, is it like... You don't have to be exact, but I'm just curious. So a new severe thunderstorm warning out ahead of the leading line. So this is going to pick up I-70 out to the east of Grain Valley. So we're talking about Concordia, Higginsville, Marshall, Waverly. You guys have a severe thunderstorm warning. Let's see what they say about this. Still the same thing, up to 3/4 inch hail and some 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. This is going to take you up till 39. It's about 11 o'clock. So a new severe thunderstorm warning out there, not out of the question at all. They're still watching for rotation up here in Bramer, Blue Mound. So if you're up in those areas, you need to be in your safe spots for the next 23 minutes if you are out here to the east of a highway for sure. Little spin ups still possible given that storm motion that we're seeing up there right now. Picking up pretty quick. I bet so. Thanks, Jenny. I appreciate that very much. Great to have you guys on here with me tonight. Kind of verifying. Radar is a great, great tool, but a lot happens in between radar sweeps, and we don't know as much about wind. We can tell you where it might be, right? But it's a lot of fun to be on here talking about crazy damaging winds, and it's actually not happening where you are. So it's great to have you guys tell me whether it is or it's not, but I'm happy to tell you what the possibilities are. All right, so good evening over here in Lacine as we come up on 10:30. Lacine and Lynn Valley are starting to pick up thunderstorm activity. Do want to say again, you know, as I consider this whole area between Lacine and Lynn Valley, and there's, oh yeah, you are warned. Sorry, I got too zoomed in. This is just too messy to really start talking about spin-ups. That's a great thing. So as I even get up here towards Freeman and Lake Annette, where you guys are having a strong thunderstorm right now, yeah, that's all I'm seeing. So we're talking about wind and heavy downpours and lightning right now. That's what's going on. That's the story of things. Look at this. For this whole area, working into west central Missouri right now, we just have severe thunderstorm warnings for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, up to some 3/4 inch hail, and I'm not seeing anything like that in the neighborhood right now. Okay, everybody look over to the left side of your screen. Here, let me move it. What do you see? Look at the I-35 corridor. Look how much weaker it's getting. Those are torrential downpours. I would look for some significant hail in those. Like this is way back at like 9 o'clock out by Emporia. Look how strong it was. So between Emporia and Ottawa, look how much it's weakened. That's great. You're still going to get some strong wind gusts. Pretty windy in Merwin. Okay, so I don't know. We could start to give a heads up to Archie, Adrian Butler. Passaic, out towards Pleasant Gap. It's going to pop up any minute. Spruce. Yeah, we can start to talk about that. I mean, there's going to be a strong wind gust knocking through that area here in a few minutes. They've not gone on ahead and extended the warning. As long as these wind gusts stay in the neighborhood where 60-mile-per-hour plus is possible, then they're going to go ahead and warn that for severe thunderstorm warning, especially if there's any potential hail in the mix as well. So we haven't talked about that in a second. I can tell from reflectivity, I don't think we're going to see anything too impressive here on the hail scan, and we don't. I don't really see any hail that's worth talking about. Maybe, if these are accurate returns out here around Fontana, there may be some small hail, and that's about all I have to say about that, you guys. And frankly, nothing else exciting. And that is a very good thing. So, all right. So areas I'm kind of interested in to see, because this is really starting to flatten and gust out here in like Holden. So you're going to pick up a warning over here towards Warrensburg, Knob Noster. That's a very good question. And it's going to come down to what the National Weather Service thinks about those wind gusts, I think. So for probably most people in my viewing area, we're talking about this kind of central Cass County here, where we have this severe thunderstorm warning for the next 18 minutes. But it's just really a big, broad thunderstorm. So everybody up there, let me know what you're seeing up there. But I think you're just going to have heavy rainfall. Have you heard any hail? I doubt very many people have. You just have some torrential downpours left to make it through. And once you do, you're about to the point that we can say good night up towards Cass County as well. So let's look at where you're done with this. Is actually just up at the end of this warned area. So if you get north of Hickman Mills, up 49, up into the Leawood neighborhood, you're just about done. That's where things are done. D-U-N, done for the night. So the potential for those 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. So let's see. Terry said, how bad's the wind going to blow in Butler? Kind of hard to say right now, but I'm going to be safe and say it could gust up to around 60 miles per hour down here in Butler. I don't know if it's going to by the time it makes it to you. So, maybe between 40 and 50. Is Butler getting anything bad tonight? As this is going, I don't really think so. I just really don't. I think that you're going to have some wind. It's really hard for me to say. I don't think it's going to be more than 60-mile-per-hour gusts, which still can knock out some power. So I think you definitely have 40 to 50-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Then you have heavy downpours. You have some lightning. I don't see any hail headed your direction. Maybe some really small hail over around Lacine right now. So I think you have wind and heavy downpours coming to Butler, and not for a few more minutes. Jamie says, starting to thunder, lightning, and strong winds east of Merwin on 18. Strong winds. So that's going to be the indicator of what warnings that you get. I think we're really just talking about winds right now and heavy downpour. Hail, I just really haven't had to talk about much tonight. Hannah wants to know about Adrian. So I would think that you may have had, or you're about to have, a gust front pass through Adrian, and the winds may start picking up there within the next 10 minutes. So you're in an area that could really still see those 50 to 60 mile per hour wind gusts. So interesting to me, they have not extended out this warning. So out to the west of Adrian, there's still a severe thunderstorm warning for 16 minutes that does talk about those. You guys can see those 60 mile per hour wind gusts. So I think 50 mile per hour wind gusts for sure, not out of the question here for this whole area. We'll go ahead and we'll do a Greg polygon before the Weather Service does, see what they issue. But yeah, they're in pink. Archie, Adrian, Butler, out towards Creighton and Urich. Yeah, some 50-mile-per-hour wind gusts for sure. I think that's what's headed your direction. But we'll go ahead and see what they warn that for here in a few minutes. Hey, how long has it been since we've seen a tornado warning? It's been a while. Up north, there's still one hanging out. I don't think it's off you guys' screen, but there is. If anybody wants to know about that, I can jump up there and let you know. But I think we're talking about people down south mostly tonight. I'm just kind of watching this gust front, watching things kind of flatten out. These are all good signs. What about Archie? We're in between. Yep, don't mean to leave Archie out. Archie's not warned right now. I mean, you might as well be, because just north of Archie, you still have a severe thunderstorm warning for up to 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. So you're just a couple of miles outside of that, and just to your west, there is one as well. So it's about 6 or 7 minutes out as far as the thunderstorm activity is there in Archie, Hannah. But I think you're going to see 50, possibly to 60-mile wind gusts. They ought to be about right now. There's a new radar scan. So can you guys see that? So what you're getting right now, I would think right now is the time that wind gusts might start to pick up between 40 and 60 miles per hour. But the storm is just starting to get into your area, and they've not extended the warning out for you guys there in Archie. That's a really good sign. So you might not have anything. I'm actually curious. Hannah, maybe you could let me know what the winds do within the next few minutes there in Archie, because nothing is warned for you right now. All right, down here at Foster and Rich Hill, you guys are just chilling. I don't know if you're going to see a warning. Let me go down here and pick up the Springfield radar. I don't know. Maybe, but not for a while. So, yeah, there is nothing warned right now. What did I do? That's what I want. There is nothing warned right now up and down the I-49 corridor between Archie and Butler. So you're in the zone right here. You're between the gust front and the storm, so you could start to experience some winds. But they've not extended that warning out to your area right now. So I think they're seeing what I am seeing, which is this great weakening, this kind of collapse that has happened as the storms have started to come into Bates County. So not long after it started raining heavy in Drexel, yeah, things really started to head a good direction for us all here tonight. Tornado possibility. Never say never, but I just don't see anything like that coming together in the area right now. There is not even weak rotation anywhere southwest of Warrensburg right now. So could still be spin ups. I just think it's flattening out too much. I think it's weakening. I don't want to say absolutely not. But we're getting close to the end of the watch area as well. I'm just not seeing anything like that right now, Kim. Hi, Mom. Is there like entire families on here that are not living together? Is that what's going on? Do you need to have a family? Do you need to talk? Okay, so I'm going to play the radar in motion. We'll just kind of see. Look how much this is really starting to gust out. It's a great sign. Look how much it's weakening. Except for just south of Harrisonville there. Kids are in Warrensburg. Is there a warning there? No, I don't think so. We'll know in the next few minutes if they're going to put one there. But I don't know, honestly. It might be a special weather statement for some 40 or 50, for some up to 50 mile per hour winds, but they won't be. They'll be like 40 miles per hour possibly. So wind picking up west of Adrian, Susan says. Okay, that's good to know. So Adrian west. Okay. Yep. I believe that. All right. So Susan is about to have a heck of a thunderstorm that's going to go on a little bit. There's a strong thunderstorm out there over Merwin right now. So it's really between you, Susan, and Merwin right now. It's moving along, though, but you're going to get wind and rain. And that will be that. All right, let's tell people to go to bed. You can go to bed if you are in Paola, Aubrey, Belton, really. I know it's still raining. Overland Park, Shawnee, Kansas City, they're zonked out. They're gone. Once this is over for you guys, you're done. So we still need to hang out, down here towards Garnett, Welda. There's a lot of storm left to go down there. Lacine, the bulk of it is probably not passing you by just yet, but it's about to, and it just looks like moderate rainfall. It's not even what I would call torrential downpour. So again, the warnings only go, and they go for less than 10 minutes now. 18 highway coming into Adrian, out west of there is still severe warned, but there's nothing Archie, Adrian, Butler just yet. So like I say, I think your wind picks up right in here right now. Of course, there's a new radar scan, so I'm wrong. So really it's over 49 highway. It's Adrian, Passaic, on up here, E Highway. So this is going to be out east of Crescent Hill, east of 49. That's where the wind gusts are going to start to pick up. But it's not severe warned out there, you guys. So we're going to watch this for a few more minutes. How about that? So can still absolutely see some big wind gusts kick up. I just am not sure we're talking about damaging wind gusts as we get over here to the east of I-49. You're welcome, Susan. I appreciate the comment. Is Raymore looking pretty clear now? It's about to, if it hasn't. So Belton, there's Raymore. Yeah, I mean, it's still raining. It's raining heavy. There's Discover Vision. There's Price Chopper. It is a big torrential downpour in the Price Chopper parking lot right now. And once that moves out of there, there's another little patch over here at Falk. How do you like this for specific? I mean, there's Community America Bank. So, yeah, there's a good heavy downpour there right now, and then you're done. It's going to taper on out to some moderate rainfall. Hospital, it's already starting to clear up there for you guys. You got some sprinkles, and I bet it's cooler. It's probably several degrees cooler in Belton. But, yep, you guys can go. You can go to bed or whatever you do at 10:38 p.m. there. You guys are out of the danger zone. So, Raymore, it's going to get quiet, and then you'll be done. Michelle is on here. Awesome. AA north of Adrian, a little wind. No rain yet. It's Crescent Hill. So there's AA. Yeah, so it's just about to rain at Michelle's house. I think it's going to rain heavy. I think there'll be some wind gusts in here where the thunderstorm is the strongest. Further back to the west along AA. Rain just hit. What'd I tell you? Play by play at 660 weather. All right, so obviously, guys, you guys can tell I'm kind of relaxed about things right now. So if you guys have questions you want to know, let me know. I'm just really happy to be seeing what I am seeing and not seeing what I am not seeing. It's been a long time since I've seen anything spin up. I think we're out of the storm orientation, really, where that could happen until we get up here toward points to the north. Haven't had anybody ask me too much about those tonight, so I'm not going to worry too much about that neighborhood unless you guys ask me to. I'm just seeing gusts. And look at everything that has just dropped off. Look at everything, and this is about to. This severe thunderstorm warning doesn't really matter anymore. That covers Drexel and 18 west of Adrian. And there it goes too. Okay, so we're just going to watch this, and honestly, we're just going to kind of soak this in because I thought there was a good chance we could be doing this until 3 o'clock in the morning. This front has shown up, in a big way. These are noisy thunderstorms still, so Harrisonville is in the thick of it right now, down towards Archie. Drexel's getting ready to be done. You guys have some thunderstorm left to go. You guys can see it there to the west. You just have heavy rain. So I think the strongest activity is really just a good solid thunderstorm here. 7 Highway, is probably a great place to avoid for a little while just because it's going to be heavy, heavy rain. Plenty of lightning out there between, say, Garden City and, the airport, Sapp Brothers neighborhood. So, heavy thunderstorm there right now. But they have let every warning in this area expire. So now we're talking about heavy rainfall. I don't know if this is putting down 2 inches of rain an hour. There wasn't really that much rain in the column. And it's moving a little quick. So I'm not sure if we're going to see the flood concerns that we might. Anywhere that we get over 2 inches in an hour is what starts to trigger those localized flood warnings. So we just have a big mesoscale discussion in the area right now, which is that green box, talking about the potential for that heavy rainfall. I was trying to get that. Here we go. Yeah, not getting into reports that we have seen that, but we may still up here, say between like Harrisonville and Holden. But look how much this is really weakened out in the last little bit, you guys. I'll loop the radar a couple more times. So we'll make sure nothing else is headed your way. And I think you guys can see. We'll go down south and talk about what might happen down toward. It's pouring rain in West Adrian, Susan says. Absolutely. Doug, I was wondering how long it would take. Honestly, I was wondering how long it would take for somebody to ask me that. I'll tell you what, just drop off those blank checks, okay? Just drop them. I'm sure they're blank and unsigned, but anyway, you're the first person to ask about that, and I'm not surprised. Very strong winds in Butler. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about that south neighborhood because, again, there's no warnings to talk about here, but you guys are going to have, So between the gust front and the storm, look at that. So Butler is in the prime area for strong wind gusts right now. Off to the northwest of Butler, you have some light rainfall and some heavier rainfall. Thunderstorm activity is going to find Adrian here in about the next 2 minutes. It's a heavy thunderstorm, and there's some pretty good lightning off to the northwest of that. So I would kind of think there in Adrian, Michelle, wind gusts for the next 5-6 minutes are possible in with this thunderstorm, but you've got to be getting toward the end of that. So as you go down towards Butler, look how much things really drop off thunderstorm activity wise. But let me play the radar and see what I think is happening and going to happen for Butler. It's just getting so much weaker. Look at that. Let me put it so you guys can see. Look how much weaker this gets as it trends toward Butler. Watch this. Yeah, you're just going to have heavy downpours and those winds there in the Butler neighborhood. Let's go down here and talk about Rich Hill. So Rich Hill is just about to come into that zone where we have had reports of some strong wind gusts. I don't know how much, but maybe up around 50 miles per hour. I think it's 40 is probably a little bit more realistic number. So I think down from where we would typically see damage, at least I hope. So Rich Hill's about to get that. And then you guys are just going to have spotty rain in with the wind. And then it's going to cool off. So you're going to look at all these patchy showers over here at Lacine, Osawatomie, Paola, up towards Ottawa right now. That's all it is, you guys. Hume, I would pretty much give the same forecast to. Let's go down here and find Hume. Yeah, same kind of thing. So for Hume, no warnings. I don't think anything's happening right there now. I would say maybe there's wind in Hume starting to pick up, or there will be in the next 10 minutes. Wind gusts between Hume and Pleasanton are certainly possible right now. And then it is just those probably gusty winds, probably intermittent winds, and some patchy rainfall. Be heavy at times. I think that's an accurate forecast for you guys down in Hume. So one more time, if you're just getting on here to check, we're in really good shape in East Central Kansas and West Central Missouri. Really good shape. This has all fallen apart, collapsed on itself, gusted out in a major way. Hey, Anita. Pretty heavy rain and lightning halfway between Drexel and Archie right now. I think that's all it's going to do. And you ought to be getting ready to finish up with it, honestly, too. And then you're just going to have light rainfall for quite a while. So let me go ahead and tell you, I mean, really, everybody can chill. You just have heavy rainfall, but you really, really can chill, like Ottawa, Paola, Harrisonville, Pleasant Hill, and points to the northeast. You guys are really, really done. But look at the body of rainfall that there is, and that's going to be cooler air, rain-cooled air. So we're already up into the 60s. It's already 59 degrees out in Manhattan. But look at all the, light rain that's going to fall tonight. So compared to today, it's going to be kind of a cool, rainy night after this heavy rainfall passes you by. South 4th and Rich Hill, the wind is starting to pick up. You think we can go to sleep in Adrian and Butler? Yeah, I really think you can. I actually think it's great sleeping weather. I mean, some of these, there's going to be, look at the lightning that I'm getting right now out to the west of Archie. So like at Main City, Everett, a lot of lightning strikes out there right now. And this is a significant thunderstorm. I can't really say strong, but this is a significant thunderstorm out here. O Highway A, Main City, Double A. So I think you're going to get some wind gusts in there. Then you're going to get lightning, heavy rain, and then nothing. So to a lot of people like myself, this is great sleeping weather. But yeah, safety wise, I think you can, especially like south of Passaic. Definitely, I think you're just going to have some wind. Probably having it right now in Butler. Looking for somebody to tell me that it's windy in Butler. If it's not, it probably will be. And then you just have wind blowing that rain around. But yeah, safety-wise, if you want to go to bed, I do not have an issue with that. Okay, so the strongest thunderstorm, like I say, is just finishing up in Drexel. There's some more left to go in terms of heavy rainfall, but actual thunderstorms, out Main City again towards Double A, Everett. That's where the heaviest downpours are right now. There's plenty of lightning out there. It goes all the way over towards 7 Highway, Garden City. But again, in this entire area, nothing is severe warned. Everything is really gusting out. We do not need to check for tornadic activity. Things are looking pretty good, guys. So, like I say, once the heaviest rainfall is past you, you're in really good shape. We did awesome. Look, it's only 10 minutes till 11. Thought this had the potential to be an all-nighter. And things look pretty good. Let's go out way, way west. Yeah, you guys can see once this really pushes through. It's already broken apart. Very, very gusty at this point. So that's a great sign. I mean, shoot, Butler's not going to get a whole lot besides some light to moderate rain. Rich Hill. Hope it didn't make too much coffee. Very windy in Butler. Good evening, Greg. It's only going to last so long. You're going to get into rain and wind and then just rain there in Butler. Rain, so wind started in Hume, Hannah said. Okay, cool. Nothing in Prescott. Yeah, I don't know down there. You guys are going to get wind. At some point, you're going to get wind and a little bit of rain. Probably late tonight, you guys are going to get heavier rain down there in Prescott. But the later it goes, because we're already getting into that area where things are really going to start dropping off in terms of intensity. So definitely by the time you guys get rain in Prescott, it's just rain. It's just good sleeping weather for you guys down there. So the only severe warned in our entire area, and it's not really in my area, is over here at Lexington, Carrollton, Marshall. Severe thunderstorm warning for the next 10 minutes. Because it's a little tight over there. in terms of a little bit more of a linear threat. But let's go back over here into our area one more time. I mean, a lot of us are getting ready to really be done. So out here along the leading edge, I think winds are going to be strongest for the next little bit. Let me go ahead and say Creighton. We'll go actually say Blairstown. It's a good place to start. Blairstown, Creighton, crossing 7 highway there, down across 18 highway, Butler, Foster, New Home, and maybe Hume, that you guys may pick up a strong wind gust right about now if you're going to. And then it's just heavy rain. So, all right, you guys, that's the situation. Appreciate everybody jumping on and joining me tonight. Like I say, everything is really chill right now. I will continue to monitor things. Tonight, I really just, this is pretty great. Honestly, I don't think it was so much out in central and north central Kansas. We'll get to looking up those. You have wind down in Hume. See, what did I tell you? So a good night, a good, cool, rainy night to all of you. I will continue to monitor things, make posts, jump back on here if I need to. I appreciate everybody joining me and giving me your weather reports, telling me what's going on in your neighborhood. Appreciate you guys all so much. And I think that will do it for right now. All right, I'll catch y'all later. See ya.